Hi everyone, I'm Luke. I run Carbon Culture. And yeah, 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Just to start at the beginning, this is the core question that we're asking in Carbon Culture. It's really how big is the difference that we could make if we were better at collaborating? And by extension of that, how much more could we all do if we use the tools that the internet offers, new digital tools that allow collaboration to happen much more effectively? We used to be able to do it. If we could use those tools, how much better could we do at addressing climate change? And the answer actually, when you start thinking about it, took us a while, but the answer is obvious. It's huge, right? It would be amazing. So we should definitely do this. So the interesting question really is, why aren't we doing it? Why aren't we doing it already? What is it that's stopping all the governments and all the businesses and all the citizens from working together in a way where we're all pushing in the same direction, when it's kind of obvious that we should be doing that? And everyone's kind of trying to do that as well. We're trying to push in the same direction, make it work better. It's not working. That's what we do. That's a minute right there. So design, nutshell, the application of thought to make things better, you could say. And design for sustainability, UX for sustainability, I would suggest, I guess I've been doing this about 10 years, it's probably not what you think, and I don't mean necessarily what you think, but what people think, like on day one, when they first start thinking about this, what should we do to get people involved in sustainability? It's probably not what they think. Just a little reminder that the First Things First manifesto is 51 years old. Don't know, has anyone heard the First Things First manifesto? Dan has, but I kind of know you're ready, so. So it was kind of the first time when the potential for design to serve a social purpose was really clearly articulated. And Ken Garland, who wrote this in 1963, suggested that designers kind of have a social responsibility. And I think he was inspired partly by Margaret Calvert's work on the motorway, on transport, the font, and a load of other things that were going on through the 50s, through the kind of late 40s, early 50s, on how to use design to serve a social purpose. And what this work really did extremely well, it was solving a problem, right? The motorway was a new problem. Suddenly, you could travel long distances. The signs needed to look the same because otherwise you'd have this dissonance. People would get lost. People would have accidents and so forth. This solved a social problem. But the problem that it solved is how to find something that you're looking for. That's very different from sustainability. For the most part, audiences for sustainability, they're not looking to save the world. They're looking for something else. They're interested in lifestyle outcomes, in aspirational outcomes. They're not looking for Leicester. I'm not saying anything. So here's another project. This is called Tidy Street. Lots of you have heard of it, I'm sure. It's in Bristol. Leicester's great. And what they did on the street was really interesting. They painted on it the energy performance of the street, and all the residents on the street, who didn't all necessarily feel excited about this at the beginning, they started saving a lot of energy. In about 3 weeks, they saved 15% of their energy demand across the whole street. So there's kind of, I would suggest, two components to that. One is making it visible, but the other is helping people to care about it. So they were, by the time they'd seen the stuff on the street, and they felt like they were part of a community, there's some social proof that other people were joining, and they felt like they were looking for that. They did want to save some energy, and the fact the information then was available helped them do that. This is something we made. This is like the graph you put in lobbies. This is the first thing that everybody thinks of, kind of day one at behaviour change school. Everyone's like, let's put a graph in the lobby. That'll work. And you take the data from the building or whatever it is, and you put a graph in the lobby, and then everyone will see it. They'll change their behaviour because they've seen the graph, right? Doesn't work that way. It's really interesting. That kind of information, it's incredibly powerful. It's really useful for a particular subset of people. I would say like 10, 15% of the population are interested in building performance data in this way. Bizarrely, 85% of people are not interested in building performance data in this way. So the really interesting question for user experience designers, user interface designers is the same actually as the general question, right? Because what you're doing is you're masking business logic with something that's attractive. You're taking whatever the business logic is that makes the thing work, and you're turning it into something that consumers want, that people are interested in. And that's effectively the problem that we have as designers working on this, except we're trying to solve a different problem from how to maximize profits. We're trying to maximize carbon savings or whatever it is. Just going to suggest here that automating some of this is useful, that providing a service, product, that actually solves people's problem, a problem they perceive they have, That can be useful. It's not all about engaging people in the vision and the values. That's really useful. But it's not all about that. It's also great to make a really compelling product for people. This is something we made to help secretaries of state compete with other secretaries of state. So we designed this to go on the front of departmental buildings in government in much the same way as the street thing works. Dan's emailing me. What's that? Okay. I'm going to stop there. I would just say we're right now building carbon culture for cities. We're looking to work with people who are making products and services that can be deployed in cities. If any of you guys have web products and services that can be deployed in cities, do let us know. We're working with cities now who are looking to use that stuff, so do get in touch.